So one of the pain points I have when starting a new Python project is losing hours of my day fighting dependencies. I eventually found a shortcut to speedrun my project setup using two files. After 15 years of development and cloud infrastructure experience, I settled on this approach that works the same on most machines. More consistent than my commit messages, of course. It's the most efficient way I've found to start any Python project. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so we'll start off with creating a new project. Let me just open up my IDE here. So let's start off with our first file, and it's a Docker file. I'll start off with a base image I use for this demo. It'll be Python 3.10 slim version. Just make it as small as possible, and then I'll add a work directory. I'll name it scraper. It just makes it easier for you to find or locate where you're gonna mount and where you can find your files. I'll do a run apt get update and install with the no install recommends flag. Let's do that. This basically only installs dependencies and not any recommendations. And then we'll add several dependencies, gcc, curl. So I like to add git in the image so I can just directly do my commits and pulls in the image without having to get out of it. And I also like to add make, which is an important part of this two file system. I'm going to start installing Python packages. These are my basics that I usually use for scraping. And since I also like to add environment variables, I usually include python.env. Let me just save this as a Docker file. And then let me try building it. And since this might take a little bit longer than usual, right, so I'm just going to go fast forward this to the end. Right, let me double check the image. Cool. Okay, now the next one is basically to try this out. Okay, I have a Python scraper already made. Let me just copy and paste this on this scrape.python file. Okay, this basically just scrapes a website and pulls in all the winners of a jiu-jitsu tournament. So let me just run this image and shell into it. Let me just try out if we really do have Python installed. So Python 3, there you go. That works. Right now let's run this scraper. Python 3 scraper. There you go. It's running now. We'll be able to see it create a file of it. There you go. And then here it is. These are the results of the scraping. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now the next part is adding the second file, which I mentioned earlier, to make this a little bit more efficient. Okay, great. Let me create the make file. Let me just open it. Oops, not working. Let me just click it, see if that makes it easier. There you go. So it basically just makes it easier for me to run shell commands using targets. So let me add the scrape just to make it easier, and then the shell into, so that I don't have to rewrite this shell this docker run command every time I have to get into my environment. Okay, let me just exit the container just to try out the make file. Alright, I'm gonna double check the image. So there's no container running. Okay, now we're gonna try to run the target make shell into. Oop, not working. Okay, so let me just update that. Let me try that again. There you go. I ran a container using that image, and I'm back again to that environment. So this makes it easier for me to jump in and out of the environment. Now let me exit that real quick again. Alright, just check in. Okay, now the next part of this demo is to show you how easy it is to recreate that environment if I have a new project. 001 new. Great. CD to it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go copy my make file since I already have the Docker image already built. Right now I'm gonna go copy my make file from the old directory into this new directory. And double check. Yep, there you go. The make file is there. So let me open it to double check I have the correct targets and commands. Great. Now I'm gonna go create a new scraping file, which I already had made again, and I'm just gonna go copy and paste it. And that's it. And so that's how I approach new projects in Python now. I hope you learned something new today. Peace. Also, source files in the description.